are you the good guy or are you the bad guy?
Well, you know, I can't tell you.
Oh,
Really.
my God.
You can't tell
No,
me.
I can't tell you. But let me put it this way. Something terrible happened in my past, and hey, these guys have a time machine.
That's it?
That's it.
Yes.
No, it's not as simple as that, but you know, it's connected with the building of the time machine. Something happens to my family, and basically I'm going back and try to fix the events in the past. But in the same time, we're gonna have a lot of fun with visiting different eras. You know, episode 2 is like Abraham Lincoln's assassination.
Whoa, that's so
God,
fun.
that's so incredible.
We go back to Alamo.
That must make it so fun to shoot because you're always in a different period, right?
Right.
It's like being on a different show every episode. It's
That
really
is
crazy.
so
Like, I mean, just the pilot, we did the Hindenburg explosion.
Right.
You know, that was like, you know, they built the whole restaurant part of the Hindenburg on the big hydraulics, and you know, when the Hindenburg is falling down, you know, the whole restaurant, and then you see the piano coming down. It was pretty cool.
If you go back to Washington State in 1985, will you knock that pizza out of my hand so I don't eat it?
There's a little thing, we're not allowed to go back to any time we already exist, so we fixed that problem.
Okay.
You know,
So
you can't
sorry.
go like,
Yeah, sorry. Not only does the show look so good, there are billboards everywhere. I can't drive a block without seeing. That must be really cool for you to feel like the network is really behind it.
It is, and it's also a good thing to live kind of out of town, so you don't see her face every day.
All the time.
Kind of an hour away, but
Are you?
yeah, it's kind of nice to be back on NBC because I used to be on ER for
Sure.
more than 8 years, and I had fun there. It was
Right.
really nice.
How was that for you? I mean, if you could go back in time at your audition for ER, what would you do? What would you change?
Actually, a funny story, but it wasn't even an audition, it was a meeting, and I didn't even know who am I meeting with because I had about 10 meetings in the same day,
kidding.
and it was all in Warner Brothers. And one of those meetings, and then a couple of days later, my agent called me and she was like, you know, one of those meetings, you know who those people are. I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah, of course. Yeah. And, you know, they would like you to, you know, join the show for like about a year. I'm like, we're talking about ER?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So it was kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, of course.
Biggest show on television, and
I mean, my God.
you were replacing George Clooney had
Clooney.
left the show.
Right.
I wouldn't call it replacing
Not
George.
replacing, but-
there was 4 new actors that season.
All right, but come on, he had left. They hired you. You must have felt the weight of that.
It was nice because
See, take it. It's a compliment.
it was nice. It was nice. Yeah, it was nice. Okay.
Well, getting back to Timeless, you had to learn different languages because every time you go back to a different period, it might be a different country or different, right?
Yeah, so they play my character. He used to work in the NSA, so he's kind of like specialized in these different things. So he speaks at least a couple of languages. And one of them was German, which I do not speak. And I was like, okay. And I told the producers, you can do all of that because I kind of speak a couple of languages. So, but German? I mean, really?
That's really hard.
And so basically I disassemble every word. And I had a wonderful coach in German, and we literally did that for about 7 days, and then we put it back together, and actually did sounded like German.
Wow.
And you do speak, what languages do you speak?
Speak Croatian and Croatian and German. Look at me. Croatian and English fluently, and I would like to say 2.5 because, like, I speak a bit of a Spanish and a bit of Italian. So we just had in the Alamo episode, I had 2 big scenes in Spanish, but that was much easier to.
And your
to
kids
learn.
speak Spanish, right?
Yeah, all 3 of
Fluently.
them. Yeah,
That's fantastic.
So do you think they're ever like talking about you in Spanish, and you're just kind of picking up?
We're gonna get Dad.
I know enough. Not, you know, they can't do that. No, they can't get by. No. And I'm improving every once in a while. You know, I kind of like throw them the line. I came back from the set when it was still fresh in my mind, and I kind of like memorized one sentence, and I just started to my son.
Cute. And how do they know Spanish? If you don't know them, who taught them?
Well, we really think in my family that language is something really important. And my wife comes from the family that's been in film business in Croatia, so we're really like both kind of heavily influenced by language. We wanted to speak proper, and we want them to speak Croatian fluently with no accent.
That's
English
great.
also,
Wow.
of course.
That's
And then
really,
Spanish,
really
it's
great.
kind of like here in California, it's easy.
Well, listen, honey, I'm still trying to master English. So.
Yeah.